Welcome back, everybody. This is Mog on Mog Squad playing some Kerbal Space Program once more today. This is going to be episode, I want to say like 13 or 14. We're going out to, we just went out to Laythe with the glider in the last episode, if you saw that. The same glider we used on Eve, the same glider we've flown around here on Kerbal. And it was a little tricky out there on Laythe, but it was kind of a testing ground for getting out to Jool. First time I've been out there, but we're going to be going again and actually putting a small manned station into an orbit around the gas giant Jool. So here we go. Launch noise in 3, 2, 1. So pushing on up, and once we get to the first drop tank stage, I'm just pretty much going to stop recording and then get back to you guys in orbit because you guys see this every time. I just want to show that I am still launching them, but I don't want to put you guys through the same crap on every launch because it gets a little tedious, I'm sure, for you guys to sit through all those. But yeah, so getting closer. We're getting to about the halfway point on our first drop tanks, a little under. And when we get up to orbit and actually come back to you guys, I'm going to actually show you a little bit of what the ship is and what its capabilities are. Getting out to Jool is easier than I thought, so you might see a little bit more involved ships in the future. But there goes our first drop tanks, so we're going to see you guys soon. Well, we're not in orbit just yet, but there's a reason. Apparently, my stage broke. Relaunch. Alright, so we're up in orbit, about 100-kilometer orbit above the surface of Kerbal, fairly along the equator. We're a little off. But I've got the node set up. We're going out to Jool. Our phase angles are all pretty darn close to what they need to be. And yeah, we should make this burn pretty good. I will have to adjust for some inclination difference between us and Jool, but that's fine. Not a big deal. We have more than enough fuel in this thing. So yeah, what happened on that last launch is this coupling right here snapped. And you know how that goes if you've ever had that happen to you. This thing, my rocket's still firing. I can't separate from it because it's pushing against my ship, and it just kind of goes crazy from there. Anyway, we relaunched, put some extra struts off of each one of these Cubely Jigglypuff things. I forget what they're called. I think those are actually called struts. The little like cubely like structural things, like the scaffolding almost looking like thing. Whatever. I attached a few more to that into the lower stage, so it held it together much better. Actually, this is a much better view. So right there, I use these little standoffs to attach struts along a longer piece like this, so it actually holds everything together a bit better. It's like an extra structural support. You can see the silhouette of it there, where it's actually the struts come off a little bit. And yeah, I attached it to the decoupler there, so it should be looking a lot better this time. We got a little bit of fuel left in this thing. We're coming around the planet to start our burn here pretty darn quick. So I think I'm going to start about T-minus, I want to say T-minus 4.5 minutes. Because we'll burn out of this stage pretty freaking quick. And then we're going to be only on, you know what, T-minus 5 minutes. We're only on the nuclear engines past that point. But we have a ton of Delta V. In fact, I'll pull that up once we get this burn started before I fast forward out to our encounter. But yeah, we'll get that going here. In fact, we're going to speed up just a hair, get this moving. And let's call that good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines engaged! Alright, so this is going to burn up really fast. In fact, we're already a quarter of the way down on this engine. And then we're going to flip over to these, and I'll pull up the Delta V menu and let you guys take a look at kind of what we're built around. Boom! So this stage has 4 nuclear engines here, half-size Rockomax, and then 4 of the longer, smaller tanks, the FLT, or FL-T800 fuel tanks, with a couple of wings on there for stability, though this thing gets a little crazy. I don't know why this thing goes nuts. I don't have this much trouble with ships most of the time. Maybe it's because it's a single-person pod and the torque it has isn't much. But you know what? It's really annoying because it just wobbles like crazy when it should be damn stable. Anyway, so this stage right here is connected here, and then if we zoom in a bit, you can actually see where there's a smaller decoupler back here, and that connects to the final interplanetary stage. Well, I'll just say the final burn stage, which is a quarter-sized tank, a Rockomax X200, with these tiny little tanks and another set of 4 nuclear engines. Now, let me pull this up and actually give you an idea of what we're looking like for Delta V on these stages. This stage had closer to 4,800 delta V, a little over, at full fuel. Once we kick this stage off, we'll still have another 4,000 delta V in that final stage. Now, once this decouples here and we're left with just the final little pod up here, this is the start of our station. I'm not sure, well, those lights are going to do us much good there, but that's alright. So, this opens up. It's one of the inline clampetrons. Close that up. But yeah, we'll be sending out a docking ring, hitchhiker pod, things like that up to that station around Jool, so that it can actually serve as a good station. The real trick is going to be shipping up fuel. I want to try to get some full fuel tanks out there, so that we can actually, you know, use it as a refueling station if need be ever. So like if we're running really low on fuel on a lander that we want to run out to the moons or something, we can stop at the station, get it refueled, and go from there. But yeah, so we're burning up. I'm gonna come back to you guys once we get a little closer out toward Jool. See you soon. Well, I know we're not out to Jool yet, but I want to show you guys this. There's a trick you can do for ships that are a bit wobbly. You can spin them. Now I'm in time warp, so this is going a little faster than you would actually be spinning. But yeah, you can spin them if they have a pull in one direction or a wobble, and as long as you're spinning consistently, your ship should stay relatively pinpointed because it'll spread the shake out evenly and hopefully just maintain a decent positioning on your nav ball. It's not perfect, doesn't always work, but sometimes, like in this case, it's actually helping quite a bit in maintaining our nose on that node. So just wanted to share that. See you at Jool. Alright, so we're coming in on Jool here, guys, and as you'll notice, I am on a collision course with Jool. That is by design. I'm going to be dropping off this stage here and letting it just pretty much slam into Jool. Now, I'm going to be waiting until we get actually into our encounter because for some reason it's been kind of freaking out and unsure. Like, it flips back and forth if I'm actually getting an encounter or not. Or at least it was before. As we get closer, it seems to actually have corrected itself. But I want to get into our encounter so I can actually see exactly what I'll be doing, have a much better control over it. So, here we go. We're coming on in here. Our alarm clock's about to go off, looks like. There it is. Pop. And delete, get out of there, and alright, so as soon as it clicks in here, we're going to get this all figured out and make sure that we're on our good approach, and everything there is going to be looking alright. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, come on, there we go. Whoa, this is crazy looking. Okay, so we are below Jool, looks like, so we're going to be planning for, why don't I have the ability to do anything? There it is. Alright. Come on. Give me my damn node. Thank you. See, it's like freaking out. It's ridiculous. So I need to burn basically not retrograde. I really wish I could set up a freaking node. Give me the damn node option. Seriously. Can I make a node through here? Maneuver node editor. What? Oh, okay. Anyway, I'll get this figured out. I'll come back to you guys once I get this all set up because it's being funky. Okay, so I've got our node set up. Basically what I'm doing is instead of zipping around this way, I'm gonna get closer and then push out to this way so that we actually come around on a proper orbit. Now we're still not getting a periapse, and that is also still by design because I am going to slam that in, basically just going to skid it along its surface and have it blow up for that stage, and then we're just going to push ourselves out just a hair more, get a periapse within the atmosphere, not too close. It's dangerous if you get closer to 100 kilometers above because it's super thick atmosphere, like seriously thick atmosphere. So what we're going to do is push out probably around 115-ish. I want to say, maybe a hair less, 114, 113 maybe, kilometers above the surface, the quote-unquote surface of Jool. And with that, it should slow us enough to make our capture and pull us in quite a bit, I would think, as far as our apoapse goes. Much lower than that, and my apoapse will just sink into Jool. And we'll just be stuck, and there'll be no fighting it unfortunately. Without stronger engines, I'll just be screwed. So that's just the way it goes. Let's go ahead and get up to our burn node here, shall we? And hopefully, sorry if you can hear that screaming in the background. That sounds like my neighbor's son having a little freak out. If not, that's fine, cool. I'm glad that that's not bugging you guys. I've gotten very used to it. He's a nice kid, but he goes a little nuts. Anywho, let's burn this up here. So, getting down there, got about a few hours left, gonna need about 1 minute and 44 seconds worth of burn, 592 delta V. Let's slow that time warp down and get this a bit closer, shall we? So I'm gonna start at about 1 minute 50, I think is gonna be the ticket. Minute 55? Or no, 55 seconds, sorry, not 1 minute 50. T-minus 55 seconds is when we're gonna start this burn. And we should be good. Come on, time warp. Warpy warp, time warp, timey time warp. And okay, boom, pretty perfect. Start those engines and burn away, and we're gonna spin it up so that we don't lose our heading too easily. And I'll come back to you guys once this is finished. It's a bit tricky. Well, not so tricky as opposed to it just takes a while. You know what? Yeah, we'll come back to you guys. Okay. Burn complete, and as you can see, we are sitting pretty on this one. So yeah, it looks like Melgus is gonna actually be able to kick off this stage, I think. And I'm not gonna spin it. Or not, rotate it. I'm gonna flip it off here, so that we separate a bit from it as well. So let's turn on some time warp and get this thing going, shall we? And pop. Alright, so there goes that tank. That shouldn't bug us anymore. And let's figure out getting ourselves into a better orbit, shall we? Into a proper aerobraking orbit. So set up a node here, I do believe, is going to be the trick. And let's push that out of here. What do we see here? 105. Need just a little bit more. 115. Pull that in just a hair. Let's go. Ugh, scary. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. No. I need a little more than that. No, not 121. I just don't want to go too shallow. I don't want to trap Melgus here, but I don't want to use any fuel if I can help it. 114, perfect. Okay, we're gonna call that good. That looks perfect to me. Taking just a hair under 7 meters a second delta V. That's rough. That's gonna be a lot of fuel, guys. I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it. So, 4 hours till our burn. 4 hours, 8 minutes. Let's go ahead and get that kicking. Dun dun dun. Bye stage. You've served me well. Okay. Time warping. Time warping. Here we go. Just a hair over an hour. Coming in quick. Dropping that T-minus numbers. This is gonna be a super fast burn. So I'm gonna go ahead and just zip on up here. We're just gonna sip some fuel while we do this, so that I can watch this happen. Now away with you. Away with you. Fuck. Oh, I can just watch it up here. That's fine. Kill rotation. Stop following that node. I don't want it. Okay. If we're watching here, we want to be about 114 is what I'm shooting for. Here we go. Close. Okay, that looks good to me. Kill that node. We're, 114 and a half roughly as it fluctuates. Now this is going to be the interesting part. So what's going to happen is the atmosphere of Jool is so thick and it goes out so far. Like this is in atmosphere right here, which would be way above atmosphere of Kerbal. The atmosphere of Jool comes out to about 135 kilometers above the quote-unquote surface. So, yeah, we're cutting in about 20 kilometers into its atmosphere. And because it's so thick, that is just going to slow us the hell down. Now, I've experimented with this a bit, and I lost the first ship I did this with. Because I shot down to about 100 kilometers in, and we just sank. We just sank into the atmosphere, and just got swallowed by Jool. It was ridiculous. And I felt bad, because I actually took a Kerman on that trip, and I killed him. My bad. By the way, folks, people have not been commenting. I've been offering that, you know, folks can get a Kerbal named after them, a Kerbal named after them, and for the first person who comments. Let me extrapolate on that. First person who comments that wants a Kerbal. You're more than welcome to comment and not have a Kerbal. The first person that comments that wants a Kerbal is gonna get one. So hopefully that'll inspire some of you to not hold back any sort of comments you may have for me or ideas. Anything. It doesn't have to be anything about this. Just be like, hey, what's up? Thanks for whatever. Hey, what's up? We should play games sometime. By the way, that reminds me, I just put up a new playlist for multiplayer games against subscribers and or friends. So, yeah, we're one and the same. Whatever, subscribers. You guys are all my friends. But yeah, it's only got 2 videos in there right now of me playing against a buddy of mine named Loom in some XCOM matches, but I figured I'd toss together something so at least they were easy to find. So let me know if you guys want to challenge me. You're welcome to hit me up here on YouTube. You're welcome to hit me up on Steam, either through the Steam community that I've got in the link below to join our community for Mogscast. It's the Mog Squad. You can also hit me up on Twitter, and I will try to read those. I'm just barely getting into Twitter, but I know it's really popular, so I want to put something together, and it's easy to send updates to Twitter as I'm uploading. There's built-in stuff when you upload YouTube. If you link a Twitter account, it just pings out a message and I can change it, and it's be like, hey, what's up? The new episode's up. Super easy for me. Hopefully there's some of you guys out there who use Twitter, and you'll be able to follow me on there. There's also the Blogger that I've got links to on our main channel page. If you use Blogger and want to be kept updated that way, I try to keep that updated once a week as I finish uploading the weekly videos. Not always the case. That takes a little bit longer than it would for Twitter. Anywho, we're going to go ahead and zip on in and actually do this Aerobraking instead of me just yapping at you guys. My bad. So as you can see, Jool has a ton of moons. There goes Tylo. I think that's Laythe. I think this... No, that's Laythe. This is Vol? Vol, yes. Was that Tylo? That was Tylo. On top of that, it's got Bop, which is totally off its rocker here on a elliptic orbit, and then Pull, which is also on a little bit of an elliptic orbit, but not quite as bad. We're going to try to get all those visited. Oh, we are just entering the atmosphere, and look at that, it's already getting contrails, or entry effects, re-entry effects. Craziness. I'm going to turn off our kill rotation and just kind of let this thing flip around and go crazy a little bit while we're here. Let's take a look at this. I kind of want to watch this, because this is ridiculous. I'll flip back and forth and kind of show you guys what's going on, but how quickly this happens is nuts. So yeah, we are down to about 122 kilometers off the surface, and it's just pulling us. I am not using fuel at all. This is just aerobraking at its best. Dropping down, 118. Coming in, and this is just pulling. This is faster than my nuke engines could pull this in by a long shot. So we are captured. We have a capture, and we are zipping in to our periaps pretty darn quick here. And we're gonna be shooting back up, hopefully gaining speed, while this hopefully doesn't get drawn in too far. So 1, come on, don't go much lower. 2, and we should start climbing here in just a moment. Okay, so there it is, beginning to climb back up again for ourselves. Thankfully, coming back out of the atmosphere is a good thing. So yeah, I'm going to watch it here now, because it's going to start slowing down, so it's not quite as cool to see, but yeah, this view is pretty awesome, huh? Let's go prograde on this thing and try to keep it where we can actually get a good bullet on here. A bullet trail. Switch into a free camera so we get a good view of this still. So this is Jool, guys. Oh. We shouldn't hit Laythe. I'll try to bring that in if that's going to be the case, but we're still slowing down quite a bit. Let's go normal 1 and actually get some more drag going. I think that's how this works. Maybe. Anywho, maybe I will use Laythe to push this back up. I kind of want to sit at about maybe 15,000 kilometers out, because I hear that's where stationary orbit is on Jool's atmosphere. So it looks like we're coming back out of the atmo, and we're probably going to be getting an encounter with Laythe, which is going to fling us back out, which is fine, because it'll help us push our periaps out so we won't get captured again by atmosphere. So there we go. We're popping back out, and sorry, that was my steam a minute ago, I think. It's just a minute, yeah. Yes, that was my steam. My bad. Not your steam, my steam. Okay, so why don't we go retrograde, since we're back out of atmo, and not do that. Let's do a flyby of Laythe. Screw it. It's going to push us out to kind of where we want to be anyway. Hi, Laythe. Hi. How's our glider doing on your surface? Good, I hope. You haven't killed it yet? Always a plus, Laythe. Don't kill my ships, please. So we're going to be popping out of, popping into Laythe's orbit, sphere of influence here. Just a moment. Delete. Away with you. Okay, Laythe. What is up, my friend? Quit it, you're freaking out. Alright, Laythe. Away with you. And alright, so popping out of this, and I'm going to go ahead and do what I can here to push out our periaps a bit, to be closer to 15,000 so that we're in a fairly stationary orbit. Hopefully I have enough fuel to do this. So there's 10, and hopefully it won't be within a sphere of influence somewhere else. Can you please stay up? Christ. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying that, I know. I might have viewers who would find offense in that. My apologies. Okay, we're going to call that good for our periaps there, and let's get over to that node and get this going. So it's asking for about 368 meters a second delta V. We can pull that off. I'm going to come back to you guys after a week. This all circularized and everything so that I don't have to waste your guys' time. See you soon. Alright, so I've got it all circularized. I've got us out to approximately a 15 by 15, well, it is 15 by 15 roughly. It's definitely got a difference in apoaps and periaps, but not by much. Our alignment's at zeros. This should be a fairly stationary orbit, it seems. So I'm going to put us at, what is this? I don't even know what this is. Radius plus, maybe? I don't know. It's to point straight up from the surface. Let's take a look at Jool as we orbit, shall we? Am I facing the wrong way? I think I am. There we go. So yeah, we should pretty much be always, for the most part, above this section of the planet. It's going to vary a bit because I don't know exactly where the geosynchronous orbit placement is, but yeah, it should be a very slow rotation. It should be easy enough to dock with for ships coming out this way. Now, I do have to detach this tank, unfortunately, because it has a ton of, well, not a ton, but it has a good amount of fuel left in it. But, you know, to actually make this station viable, because our docking node's right here, kind of somewhat hidden, almost, I do need to separate. So, let's go ahead and get that done, I suppose. And I'm going to fling it out. No, I'm going to fling it in toward Jool. It's not gonna get on a collision course at this altitude, but whatever. I'm not too worried. Stop. Alright. So I'm gonna face this thing north and leave it here, and we're gonna deploy everything, and that's gonna be our Jool station starting out. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and open this on up, turn on our lights, deploy our Majigglypuff things here, send out our satellite. You know what, we're going to face this inward so that our satellite is facing outward. turn on our units here. So we have our science station module, we have a battery here to hold power, we've got solar units, we've got a docking ring. So what we're going to do now is call it for this episode, but in the near future we're going to be sending some other things out here. Whoa, what are you doing? Why are you pulling like this? What is it that's making you spin, damn it? For reals? I'm just confused. Oh, is it my trim? There. Stop it with that. My trim was off. So that's what's been throwing me off this whole damn time. Apparently, my trim has just been off. I should have known that. I've had that happen before. I'm bad. Alright, well, with that, guys, we're going to call it. We've got our Jool station. We're going to be launching some other things up here into the Jool area in the near future. Next episode, next week is what it'll be. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.